Hi there, dudes. So we actually have so much news about what is going to be happening next week and into the next month in general. And one of the main things to note is that if you missed out on some of the old Zodiac collection dragons, they're actually going to be returning yet again in a new set of chain breeding or breeding blitz style type of events. So that might be some really good news to some of you out there that might not have been playing then, or maybe just missed them because you got unlucky with breeding. But we have all of this to go through. There is a lot of news here. We do have the image of everything, which gives a very quick idea of some of the events to expect. So again, we got chain breeding events, we got the piggy bank, which is finally being released. In the bottomless dungeon, we're going to have a legendary, and we actually finally have another calendar event, which is going on for an entire month. It is for a dragon that I already have, which is kind of good, but we are finally getting calendar events back. But anyway, let's go from top to bottom. So Adam said, "Heyo everyone, hope you're having a great Friday." I'm actually going to make this even bigger. But here's a few things I want to draw attention to. There's a new month-long calendar event, though you will need to log in consecutively for 14 days to win. So that's every day for 14 days. The bottomless dungeon this week will include a legendary dragon, and as such we have slightly reduced the chances of winning it, which scares me because it's already kind of iffy getting the dungeon dragons anyway, unless it's in that purple chest. We'll see. The piggy bank event, air quotes, will finally begin this week after it was postponed due to the unexpected Android update delay. We will have a special 6-day chain breeding event for Zodiac dragons, giving players a second chance at Aries, Taurus, Gemini Alpha, and Gemini Beta dragons. To help with this, we will be increasing the time skip adds for hatching to 8, which is, 4 hours, something like that. So that's it. Here's the full schedule in detail. So, to start off with, from the 7th, it is Emerald Wars for the clan event, so take part in fierce arena clashes. We've seen Emerald Wars before. Lots of people didn't like it, some people did, but either way, it's coming back. The bottomless dungeon, like they said, we have the legendary Darkfire dragon coming. Players might also find the relics of exploration and the double egg relic in dungeon chests. Due to the special reward, the chances of success have been slightly reduced, and in the shop, the reward dragon will be the wizard dragon, so if you never got him in the old dungeon, you will have the chance to buy him again. Then we have the calendar event, which is from October 7th to November 7th, so log in each day for 14 days consecutively to win the medalist dragon. Then the piggy bank. Purchase the piggy bank for the duration of the event. You will earn bonus gems each time you spend gems, but don't forget to collect your reward before the event finishes, otherwise it will be lost forever. So this piggy bank is essentially you have to buy something to then get other things at a reduced cost. So you don't have to make one purchase, you have to make multiple purchases to make the piggy bank worth it. I don't like this item. This item is everything I hate about these games, but it's coming now. They have one in Dragon City, and now we've got one here. Gem spending event. Spend as many gems as you can to win the chemistry dragon on the leaderboard and the digital dragon from the milestone reward. So that is chemistry and digital. So you probably won't be getting the chemistry, but maybe if you want to spend gems for any reason, then maybe you're going to get yourself a free digital dragon. We'll see what the exact requirements are when it comes out. Crowded nursery, nothing important. Food frenzy, you'll get more food for 24 hours on October 9th, so have fun with that. Then, October 11th to the 18th, we have a solo event, which I don't think was on the upcoming event schedule, but it says complete test to win fantastic goodies and rise through the ranks to unlock the Redscale dragon. This one is also going to be kind of major because the Redscale has only really been available before in a chain breeding event, and the odds of getting it were super low. So, we will have a chance to get this Redscale dragon again. And this dragon is actually used in the breeding of Gemini Beta. So if you want to get Gemini Beta, you have to get the Redscale dragon in this solo event. So keep that in mind. Then they have the Zodiac breeding event. So during this special chain breeding event, players will have a second chance at Zodiac dragons that they might have missed Here's the schedule. So, this starts off from the beginning. The 11th to the 13th is going to be the Aries dragon, parents being plant plus clownfish. That's fine. And it doesn't seem like these breeds are too difficult either. Like plant plus clownfish, metal plus orange. These don't have tons and tons and tons of outcomes. The Redscale one is going to be the only exception at the end. But we've got those two. Then 13th to the 15th we have the Taurus dragon, parents being metal plus orange. I'm going to stop the game from going inactive. Then 15th to the 17th, Gemini alpha, parents being sunflower and ice. 15th to the 17th is Gemini beta, parents being Redscale plus Gemini alpha. And Gemini beta will have an increased default chance to breed of 5% because this combination is 8. Sorry, this is probably a really important part to take note of. Maybe you want to write it down somewhere. Maybe you just want to keep coming back to the video. Maybe you want to keep going back to the forums just to make sure that you know what's happening. But that is what you should expect. So get all of these dragons ready if you need to try and go for them. Then we've got a dinner time event. Leaderboard prize being unicorn. That's whatever. And then a VIP golden opportunity. The leaderboard prize being arboreal, which again is whatever. So, that was a lot of information to take in. Main thing being legendary next week in the bottomless dungeon, Zodiac breeding event, and a calendar event, and a solo event. So, what do you think about all of that? Are you excited? Are you excited? I mean, if the Zodiac collection dragons keep coming out in these sorts of chain breeding events, then, for instance, since I never actually got the Dragon of the Month from last month, then surely we should expect that that dragon would be coming again in its own chain breeding event or two. So even though you miss out on them, you still do get another opportunity at them, but to be fair, it's much easier to breed it during its set month rather than, you know, relying on these annoying chain breeding, blitz breeding, whatever you want to call them, style events. I don't know. It's iffy. It's like, if we're gonna have multiple of these chain breeding events, couldn't we just bring out a fairer way of re-releasing them to people that might have missed them earlier in the year? I don't know. But considering in-game it states that just to get 3 dragons for one of the collections, that's 0.1% of the player base, it's still not really going to change the percentile of people that have all 3 of them compared to the total player base numbers. 0.1%, if those actual numbers in, you know, the collections are accurate, is incredibly low. In which case, bringing them back for 2 days is not going to fix the overarching problem, which is purely the fact that the dragons seem to be too difficult for regular players to breed on average. You could say, yeah, well, they're meant to be a thing for only the most dedicated players of DML. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Dragons of the Month have never really meant to be there to signify that you are some sort of DML god, but 0.1%, dude, that's a really small margin of people that they're sort of, I guess, giving the opportunity to get the Zodiac Dragon for, and the Zodiac Dragon isn't even very impressive either. I don't know, dude. I'm just sort of over it with the Zodiac Dragons at the moment. I don't like these chain breeding events and blitz breeding events because they make them so short and they make them seem so, you know, oh my god, are you gonna breed it? Are you gonna not? You've only got a couple of days. You better be quick, because then it spurs people to want to spend more gems, because then they feel like they're under a time constraint, like they don't want to miss out. And I can imagine during the last chain breeding events for the Zodiacs before that there were probably people that spent hundreds of gems gemming through breeds. Maybe they bought a second breeding den. People have probably done that just to try and go for those dragons, and it hasn't worked out, and now they have to go through all of it again, and people are going to fall for it again. And it's purely because the breeding odds are not particularly high for some of them. But again, at least the combos aren't too troublesome. They're sort of just fine. They're the combinations that you'd use during their month. So it makes sense, right? That before you had a month to do it, now you've only got a couple of days. And then you gotta, if you didn't get the Gemini dragon, then you gotta breed a Redscale and a legendary together. Good luck if you didn't get it before, because that is gonna be a difficult breed. But anyway, like I said, solo event, I'm happy that the Redscale is being re-released. Just because, again, before it was only available in an annoying chain breeding event, now it's being re-released again. So at least they're giving players that didn't get them before an opportunity to get them. But I feel like the new opportunities have to be fair. Again, the Redscale one, not a problem. Put it in a solo event, that is fine. I 100% think that that is okay. Because at least then, they don't have to RNG breed for it, and they just have to do a regular event for it. Even though I hate solo events, and I will probably not enjoy doing it, maybe I won't do it. We'll see. But at least that chance is there. You know? Apart from that, I'm probably going to ignore the clan event. The bottomless dungeon, I don't know, if we get as lucky as we did this week, where we got the Kongming, like, immediately, that'd probably be pretty good. But with those decreased chances, I'd want to know exactly how decreased they are, because does decrease mean, like, it's been lowered by 1%, or does it mean it's been lowered by half of what it normally is? Because that's a lot of difference. That's a lot of difference. We can assume one way or another, but there's no way for us to actually know. So I'd rather us have the definitive numbers given to us by Gameloft before we start, you know, making assumptions, before we start doomsaying. Although I don't think the odds are very high by default anyway, personally. But, anywho, for now, that is what you should be expecting. At least they're letting us know in advance, because there was a time in DML's life where we never used to get told anything, and we just sort of had to wait and see everything that was happening as it came. And I almost forgot that we do actually have a whale mark because it is Friday. I saw it when I logged in and I completely forgot about it. So again, 3 gem deals. One of them being a relic deal. Now, the thing is with relics of hatching. 99 gems for 5 of them. It isn't that great of a deal. But if you are someone that you know you are going to be skipping timers during the breeding periods for some of those legendaries, if you want to go and get them, relics of hatching may be useful to you. Relics of breeding arguably could be more beneficial to you, but this reduces the time of the hatching of eggs in your hatchery by 8 hours. So you gotta decide, are you gonna be gemming everything so much that it's gonna come to over 99 gems for 5 of them? If you do it 5 times, it's probably gonna come over 99 gems. So if you know for a fact that you're gonna do it, maybe it's worth taking, but on average, I don't like the idea of people buying those relics, because you shouldn't really feel too compelled to speed up the timers, because it's such a waste of gems. So it's your choice at the end of the day, but it's not advised. Then VIP tickets, you can get 5 of them for 45 gems. This is another one where it's sort of like, you sort of gotta decide, because the thing is, those VIP tickets compared to, you know, everything else, they're actually not that bad in value. The thing is, regular VIP, if you're gonna buy 20 days worth, then that's 199 gems. Like if we go to VIP, extend, 199 gems for 20 days worth. We get 5 of those in the Whale Mart. So you'd need to collect like a month's worth of Whale Mart deals and VIP tickets to give yourself the same amount of day value. But those ticket deals don't come every single week in the Whale Mart. So in the amount of time that you could have bought 20 days worth of VIP, you might be waiting 3 months to collect the actual amount out of the whale mart itself. So even though that might seem a good value, if you're someone that hoards gems up slowly and doesn't actually, you know, buy stuff and doesn't put gems on with real world money, you just collect it through the ruins and things like that, I don't actually think that the 5-day deals are that great for you. Because every time you buy those few day deals worth of tickets, instead of just waiting until you get 199 gems, you're going to miss out on VIP days. But the benefit of those VIP tickets is the fact that you can use them whenever you want, at any time. So unlike the 20-day deal, you don't have to be here all the time. So if you're not going to be here for one specific day, you're not going to miss out on that day's worth of VIP. It's a weird one. I don't think there's any truly correct answer when it comes to those, to be completely honest with you. Because there's so many cases for you to buy them in the Whale Mart, and then there's so many different cases for you to buy them just the normal way, the $1.99 for 20 days. It's a toughie. I guess if you want to think about it in one way, you could say that that means that since there's no wrong answer, you could go about it whichever way you want. But if you do want to be able to choose the very specific times that you want to do it, maybe it's worth investing into, but then you might risk only getting 5 days worth of VIP instead of a good 20, because it'll take you longer to collect the gems. So, yeah, I mean, I do like that there are things in DML sort of like that, where it's like, well, to be honest with you, you could sort of do it either way, and there's no real downside to buying it one way or buying it the other. Or, you know, just progressing in a certain way instead of the other. There are some things in DML where it's just objectively quicker to do things in a set way. Like, the best way, if you want to level up in DML, for example, you could say is get tons of cool legendaries and divines out of the divine events. But the actual best way to level up fast and get high level dragons in DML is to go through the map as fast as you possibly can. So to do that, you need to hyper level a single dragon, fully blitz through the map as fast as you can, get level 100, and then at that point, when you go back and do blue map fights and things like that, you'll get extra bonus rewards like food, gold, things like that, and then you can go back and level up your other dragons nice and quick. It's not a good idea to have 3 evenly leveled dragons if you want to go through DML fast. See, that is just objective. That's just the way that it is. There's no way to avoid that, because yeah, you get the downside of only being able to use one dragon in castle events, which makes your events more difficult and you're gonna suck in the dungeon. But it means that you're gonna get more resources overall. Tons and tons more food. Every single time you progress in the map, you're gonna get bonus resources dependent on your position on the map. So if you're someone that's been struggling to get through the game and you don't know how to get more food, prioritize going on the map. That's why the best thing to do is add as many people as you possibly can, upgrade your portal, and just hire friends dragons until you beat Mini. It's a really overpowered strat, and you can get there within legitimately a few weeks of playing DML. If you do everything properly. You don't need months and months and months to finish off the first part of the map. You legitimately only need a couple of weeks. But then at that point, you need your own dragons level, because then you can't hire dragons. And then it becomes a little bit more annoying, because at that point then you're going to start needing temples and that upgraded. And then things start to get a little bit messy. And then they start to take a while for the second half of the map. The second half being that final island, because to be honest, that final island is so incredibly large that it takes forever anyway. But that is the general strat if you're trying to power level. Especially if there's anyone that's restarted on a new account recently. I know that a lot of people that got banned by the age restriction thing, even people that got banned unjustly, they can't be bothered to get in contact with DML to, you know, get their account back because they don't care enough and they just want to start on a new account. Fine, go ahead. But the best strat is gonna be power leveling a single dragon through. So always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. But, you know, if you're someone that has a super even set of dragons, you're gonna pound on that dungeon. You're probably gonna be the master of the dungeon. You might have super slow game progress overall, in terms of leveling up, but you're gonna get benefits in different ways. So, it's not quite the same as it was before in DML, where it was like, you have defensive dragons, therefore the maps and everything's gonna be more difficult for you. At least now there is some benefit to using the more defensive dragons instead of the fully aggressive ones all the time. And you could argue that it's still better to only use the, like, plant, shadow, divine dragons of the world. But they do have their own benefits. And I kind of like that about DML, because it used to be so one-dimensional. But at least now there's a sort of a benefit for this, benefit for that. Do it this way, do it that way. And that's why there's no real such thing as being, air quotes, the best at DML, because everyone prioritizes different things. People prioritize going in the map quickly, other people prioritize collecting, other people prioritize how many arena streak wins they can go on. It's just, as there's no pure skill to compare in DML, DML is just an inherently casual game. It is a casual game. That's what it is marked as on the Play stores and Windows stores. Nothing that you could do to change that. But I would say just play the game in whatever way you feel is best. You know, if people are telling you to play it one specific way or that specific way, you can acknowledge that maybe there's a different way to do things, but if you really don't want to do it that way, just say, I don't care enough. It's like how people would say to me, hey Quacks, you know, if you did your 20 enchantment fights a day, you would already have tons of fully upgraded level 100 dragons by now. And I say, that's true. I accept that, but I can't be bothered. And that's it. You know, you don't have to feel bad about it. It's just if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It is that simple, my duty. And I just realised that we've got Chronos here, so let's make sure that we've got everything filled up in our exploration bits, and then we're going to use him. Get that 6-hour skip. And then at least we'll have a couple of reduced timers in our hatchery and our breeding den. Because since we bred the Scorpio dragon already, I kind of want to reduce the timer on that a little bit. Because seeing that over 1 day timer in there freaks me out. I haven't seen that in a while. It's been like a month. So there we go. Everything done. Just before you use Chronos or any of his ruin skips, make sure you got everything sorted that you want to sort out for that time being. Like, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to, like, put something in to upgrade its ability just because you can. I'm just saying, make sure that you got all the stuff to get cooled down that you want to. Like 6-hour food, super good to pair with Chronos because it's perfect timer. Now I can get another lot of food in time. Then we can hatch these. Get him out, I don't want you there. And then if we wanted to hatch another egg, for example, we could go ahead and do it now. Isn't that fabulous? And now we got all of these ruins, which are done. I thought we just did this one. You are right, we did. Not that we're really going to get anything out of it, but if there's the chance of us getting extra gems, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Doesn't matter which ruin you go on, you might get some gems. So it's always worth exploring, even if you're at the point that I am, where there's no more exploring technically to do, because we've already got all of the rune shards. It's worth going ahead, popping stuff back in, getting free gems. That's how I get so many sometimes. Sometimes I'll get like 20 at once, and that's insanely good. But anyway, apart from that, last thing that I wanted to mention is that there is currently a bundle out for the Scorpio as well. 1200 gems, 20 days of VIP, food and gold. I don't recommend ever buying the Zodiac collection dragons in bundles like this. If you're super desperate and you will literally die if you don't get the Zodiac collection reward at the end, fine, maybe you could justify it, but it's not worth buying them when you have an entire month to try and breed it. Because any attempt could be the attempt that you get it, any attempt could fail. But when you've got like a full month to go for it, I would avoid those deals. I think they're just trying to, like, force you to go, oh my god, I'm gonna miss it, I'm gonna miss it, oh my god, yeah, I gotta buy it, I gotta buy it. It's not worth it, dude. But anyway, for now, thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you think about all the news and the upcoming events, calendar events and such. Until next time, I'll see you then.